Hello, everyone. I am Scott Pantel, CEO of LSI, and today I'm with Vlad Hogenhuis, a board member with GATT Technologies, and he does much more. Vlad, welcome.
Morning, Scott. Great to be here.
It's great to have you, and want to thank you for being one of the really exciting presenting companies at our event this past May. And I understand that you're going to be at our meeting this coming March. So thank you for joining us again. We're really happy to have you, and we love watching all the progress that you're making.
Thank you, Scott. Looking forward to being there. Always a pleasure.
Some of the folks in our membership and our audience here may not know a lot about GATT Technologies. So I thought it would be great to just start out if you could give us a quick introduction on yourself and your role at GATT, and then maybe tell us where GATT is today and what you guys are up to.
I'm a board member for GATT Technologies. I'm also helping out with business development activities in the US. GATT is based in Nijmegen, the Netherlands, and most of the personnel is based out of the Netherlands. So helping out with what is conceivably the largest market for medtech devices. And that's where I get to go to great conferences like LSI.
That's terrific. And tell us a little bit about your technology. What problems are you solving with your technology?
So fundamentally, GATT is in the hemostat and sealants business. Hemostats are used by surgeons to stop the bleeding during a procedure. And these type of bleeds are becoming, increasingly more common with the growing of the population, people becoming older, more complicated procedures being done. So effective hemostasis is important. And a couple of products on the market, and while they have some help, they take too long to work. They're not as adhesive, they're not as versatile, and often cost a lot. And what GATT Technology has developed is a very effective hemostatic that gets you full hemostasis in 30 seconds, is effective and pliable to use in difficult situation, and is very effective in forming a tight bond so it doesn't let go. And so we're bringing this to the market, currently in trials, and hope to get the regulatory approvals to start serving patients soon.
Well, it's definitely, there's a huge market out there. One of the things that LSI does in our advisory side of our business is track procedure volumes. And I just pulled some numbers prior to our interview here to take a look at some of the areas that you're working in. I know that general surgery, cardiovascular, various minimally invasive and robotic procedure areas are just some of the clinical areas that you guys address, but we're tracking, over 500 million procedures around the world. And this is across the board, all segments, but growing at 9%. And one of the interesting things that we like to point out is that, while 40% of those procedures, based on our numbers, are performed in the US and Europe, the two biggest markets, there's 60% in growth markets out there that are not being addressed. And so I'm assuming that you guys have a strategy to not only address the big US and EU markets, but also to get into some of these other emerging markets with these massive populations. Are you guys raising capital? What's the goal for the meeting that you have coming up here in March? Is it connecting with strategics? Is it raising capital? Is it more than that? What's the objective?
It's all of the above. It's connecting with strategics. As you may know, we have J&J on our board. It'll be a great time to give them an update, as well as other strategics who've shown interest in our products. It's also about kind of raising capital. We expect to raise a seed round, significant seed round, early next year, and we'll be around in March in the middle of that, so it'd be a great time to kind of connect with investors. But thirdly, what LSI offers, Scott, is a very effective way of connecting with vendors, understanding market trends, new ways that vendors can be of help to us with our trials, with our marketing, with our patient monitoring, with education of physicians. So it's kind of all of the above, but really looking to close, a C round and ensure that we have enough capital to fund our FDA trials and advance our preclinical pipeline.
You're coming out in March, so I assume there's some value in the face-to-face, but has that changed completely? Are you being more selective with your meetings? Is that going to go away? You won't hurt my feelings. I'd love to know what your perspective is on the face-to-face element of our industry.
I think, what's going away, I think, with COVID is just kind of traveling 6 hours to have one meeting with one customer, unless it's a very important meeting with the top brass. You could probably make that investment of time and risk, quite frankly. When it comes to these conferences, for me, it's an incredible accelerator of meeting with people face to face using safe protocols outside. I think the fact that the meeting was outside last time was fantastic. You get a real quick understanding of what your potential partner doesn't want to do. You get a good understanding of what people offer. You listen to symposia, you see how people answer questions. And that's something which is very hard to do using Zoom calls and scheduled meetings. The impromptu meeting to me is a big pull, and that's why I would always advocate to come to that, but you got to be selective. You cannot go to all the meetings, but a large meeting with 200 plus people, very effective. And so I'll continue to advocate for that.
Well, thank you. We obviously agree that there's a need for it. I love that you point out that while you're actively raising capital and obviously looking to stay connected with the strategics currently in your ecosystem, but also meet new ones, recognizing the importance of the other companies, the really important service companies that can help you with the other aspects of your business that are critical. And while none of us want to go to a meeting and be bombarded by service companies, frankly, LSI is a service company. So we recognize the sensitivity to that. We also recognize that it's more than just a big bag of money and an acquirer down the road that's required to get us to our goal. So I am happy to hear you recognize that and applaud you for your approach to these meetings. So let's, if you're meeting right now with that strategic, you talked about maybe it would be worth flying out for that one meeting. So let's say you're flying out for that one meeting with that one investor or that one strategic. It's a big meeting, it's the right person, and they gave you the 60 seconds to give them the pitch. What are the top couple things you would want that person to know about GATT Technologies today? What do they need to come away with?
So GATT provides a superior hemostat. The hemostat that we're developing works faster, is more adhesive, is going to cost less, and is more pliable, and therefore will better meet the surgeon's need. And it's a unique opportunity for a strategic to either acquire a hemostatic sealant business or to extend this franchise with the next level product that will become the standard of care in years to come.
How big is this market you guys are going after? It feels like I know the volumes, but I don't know the actual market from a dollar standpoint. Can you talk about the market size and growth?
It's a massive market and it's growing fast. You quoted the number 500,000 procedure, which is roughly the number that we have too. We estimate this market to be, $5 billion and growing to $9 billion by the end of 2030. We see a lot of unmet need where currently hemostats are not used or sealants are not used, and we expect to fill that gap. So significant growth, large market over time, reaching $9 billion, and we intend to fully participate in that.
That's great. And we know that the investors and acquirers love those big markets being chased down. And I'm sure there's no doubt that we'll have some strategics there that are watching very closely what GATT is up to and looking forward to getting an update from you in March. So I just want to thank you for being a part of the program, for spending some time with us today. And we're going to share this information with our members, get them excited about coming out and meeting you in person. I'm sure you save some of the extra information for those that can join us in Dana Point. And I want to thank you for your time today, Vlad. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Scott. Always a pleasure. Good luck with the conference. See you soon.